Hi guys, it's Dominica. Welcome to my channel. Today we're going to talk about situationships and more specifically why you have to end yours right now, in this very second, right after this video. You have to go and finish it because you deserve better. Trust me, you do. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel so I know to make more of this type of videos, because also my channel is small. I'm just figuring out what are you interested in. So if you like it, please let me know. Enough talking, let's start with the video. Firstly, what are even situationships? Because the term is very new, it's a very Gen Z term, and if you ask your parents what situationship is, they will have no idea. And there's a lot of different definitions, and basically in situationship, if you really break it down to what it is, one person wants to be in a relationship, one doesn't. That's what situationship is. And instead of two people doing what's the best for them and walking away, they're having something going on. Usually that means mainly physically. And if you ask those two people in that situationship what the other person is to them, the person that wants a relationship is the most likely to say, oh, it's complicated, we're in a situationship because blah 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 blah. While the other person is going to say, well, we're hooking up sometimes. That's it. And in this video, we're going to take the point of view of the person, the girl, who's the one that wants a relationship, because that's the person that's getting hurt really a lot in all of this. And if you were really honest with yourself, you know that you want to be with him, you know he doesn't want to be with you. And if you loved yourself a little bit more, you would just walk away because this is not what you want. But for whatever reason, your self-esteem is low, you think you don't deserve better, so you stick out in it, hoping one day he's going to change his mind, and it's killing you in the process. So you do deserve better, and I've listed, I think, 10 or 11 things that came to my mind from my experience in situationships that helped me to get out of it, and I genuinely think that you should as well. I'm in recovery from situationships, you're actively an addict. Let me help you get into recovery, because once you're on the other side, it becomes so much easier. So firstly, in a situationship, you're always at his mercy. He's the one deciding the pace of everything. He's the one that decides when you meet up, how your relationship looks like. He's the one holding all the power in all of this, because he knows that you want him and you're not gonna walk away. Because if you were going to walk away, you would have already done so. So he can get away with so many things, and you're still coming to him. And from my experience in situationships, I'd have guys telling me, I'm in the city, I'm gonna come to you afterwards. And then I was waiting, not going to sleep, because he's coming to see me 11 p.m, midnight, 1 a.m, he was not there. I'd be texting him, he'd say, oh, this friend's joined in, I'm gonna come later. Then he doesn't come over. You're the one sitting at home waiting for a man who doesn't want you to come to you, to give you the 5%. Not even the bare minimum, because the bare minimum, at least someone want to be with you. This is way below bare minimum, and it's very sad when you think about it. He's the one holding all the power over you. I personally was never really okay with that dynamic. I was never okay to be fully dependent on a man for everything. Also, while you're in a situationship, you constantly confirm to yourself that you're unlovable, because the reason why you're in a situationship in the first place, you don't think you deserve happiness, and within you, deep down, that you think you're unlovable, you'll never be in a relationship. Most likely it's something from your childhood, some parental wound. I'm not a psychologist, okay, but I've been trying to learn things about myself, and I came to that conclusion. There's something from your childhood, the parent who was absent. So for some reason now in your romantic relationship, you don't think you deserve to be with someone who fully loves you, who will make you fully happy. You just don't think it's gonna ever happen for you. You feel, I could tell that from myself. I felt there's something unlovable about me, because the man that I wanted to be with didn't want to be with me, and I would really hold on to that rejection, cling onto it so much. And if you're with someone who doesn't want to be with you when you want to be with them, you just confirm that pre-notions that you had about yourself. And you're not getting any better in those relationships. You're not healing. You're not learning love. You're not learning how to be happy. And as a result, your self-esteem, your confidence will go down. Because when you started off, when you met that man, you were probably dating around, had some past experiences, but in that moment when you met him, you had some insecurities like all of us do, but you were still going out with your friends, you were having fun, and then you're with this man, which at the end of the day, you know that he actually doesn't want you. He actually doesn't want to be with you. So you start looking really, how is this your fault? If my boobs were bigger, he would want to be with me. If maybe I was more fun in bed, he would want to be with me. If I was this and that and that. And that really ruins your self-esteem, really ruins your confidence. Because how can you be confident if a man that you want, that you're sleeping with, that you're talking every day, doesn't want to be with you, and he even comes up with the reasons not to be with you, then how can you go about your day feeling confident? How? How when you go to work you're supposed to feel confident? How when you're seeing your friends you're supposed to be confident? When you're thinking what you want out of life. I want to get my dream job in this industry. I want to finish this studies. I want to accomplish that. But every day in your personal life, the man that you want doesn't want you. It's always there in the back of your head, whatever you do, even if it's not related at all to your romantic life, it's always there. And I remember with my first situationship, the last month of it, I was crying every single day. My anxiety was through the roof. And of course, I wasn't thinking to myself, oh, I'm crying right now because of him. Because actively, when I was crying, when I was feeling so down, sometimes I wasn't even thinking about him in our situation. But I felt constantly so down about myself that it was coming out in all of the situations. And every day when I was going to bed, I felt bad about myself. And I didn't deserve to feel like this. I didn't deserve to be crying every single day and feel so horrible about myself. There are some people out there doing really, really horrible things, and I wasn't doing them. And I still felt so horrible. And I didn't deserve that, and you don't either. And if you're involved in a situationship, you don't respect your needs and wants. And to me, that's ultimately not respecting yourself. Not in this conservative, you don't respect yourself because you sleep with someone on the first date. You don't respect yourself because it's your job to make sure you're happy and fulfilled. And you know your needs and wants. Maybe you don't want to say them out loud. Maybe you don't want to admit them to yourself for some reason. But you're the one that knows what you need and want. No one else can. No one else will. And there are some people that know you very well, your parents, your closest friends. But at the end of the day, they never know what's truly the best for you. They just read the signals that you give them. But you're the one internally knowing it all. You just have to be honest with yourself. And I remember in my situationships, I was thinking to myself, what do I want? Let's not think about the guy. What do I want? I would like to have a boyfriend. I would like to be in a relationship. I would like to have a man that I can talk to every day, that we're going very close together. I can see the future with. I want to have children someday, family someday. So I would like to be with someone that I can see that happening with, someone that brings me comfort. I can talk about my problems. And I don't want him to be sleeping with other girls. I don't want him to have Tinder and be pursuing other people there. I don't want the fact that when he goes out, I don't know what he's doing and he might be hooking up with other people because we're not together. And if I was being truly honest with my needs and wants, I knew that the situation I'm in is really not working for me. And I wasn't honoring my own needs and wants. And that's ultimately not one job, but that's one of the main jobs that I have in my life. Honoring what I want, because it's up to me. No one else will do that, and you have only one life. And it's so crazy to think how I spent my time when I was 21, 22, 23 feeling miserable because some guy doesn't want to be with me, while there were so many other men who wanted my time, while there were friends that I maybe, wasn't as connected with or didn't spend as much time with because I was thinking about some guy. So to me, ultimately, honoring what your needs and wants is what you own yourself, to respect yourself, because you only have one life. Another thing about situationships, your dating life is on pause. I don't care what lies you tell yourself, it is on pause. You don't date the same way when you're in love with someone else that you're actively seeing, actively sleeping with, actively involved with. And you have to really sit with it and really be honest with yourself. Your dating life is on pause. It's not the same. First of all, you're less interested in other men because this is the man that I want to be with. That's the hottest, the best, the love of my life if he only wanted me back. So when you meet other men, they are not better than him. They're not as handsome as him, not as funny as him. They don't get me like he does. We don't have as amazing conversations. So you're automatically way more reluctant to other people and you're very nitpicky. And this guy you might be interested in if you were fully single, but because you get 10%, those little breadcrumbs somewhere else, the man that maybe you'd be interested in, you actually ignore. And then I remember when I was even trying to go on dates where I was in that first situationship. First of all, I was not interested in men, but then I felt if I'm interested in someone, he has to be the whole package. he has to be as handsome as my situationship, as good in bed, and then all of the other stuff. I must find my hero right now, because if I don't find this knight on a white horse, I might as well be with my situationship. And that put really a lot of pressure on those very few guys that I was into. Maybe you have some thoughts on that as well, but I genuinely think if you're in a situationship with someone, you don't date other people the same way, you don't give them a full chance, and you're very desperate with those that you do, because you're really hoping that then this guy that you meet right now, this one guy that you went out with while being in your situationship, is supposed to give you absolutely everything, and when he does it to break down, no one wants me, I will die alone. And when you become fully single, fully situationship free, healed from all of that, you're able to actually enjoy dating. Oh, and I made the last video I made was actually how to enjoy dating, so if you want to see that one, it's going to pop up over here, so you can watch it afterwards. But in order to enjoy dating, firstly you have to be healed and not be in love with someone else. And if you're in a situationship right now, I challenge you to take a step back. You're alone in your room right now, you're all alone. I'm not there judging you, no one else is there judging you, it's just you. You're just talking to yourself, trying to be honest with yourself, and are you happy? When you wake up in the morning, are you happy? When you go to sleep, are you happy? And I don't mean that 10 seconds a day when he texts you back or when he comes to meet you up 2 hours. No, I'm not asking if you're happy the moments you're with him. I'm asking if you're happy in your life. When you fall asleep in bed every single night, are you happy? Do you feel good about yourself? The right people for you are gonna make you feel good about yourself. Not only situationships, a man that you're with, also your friends. Do you feel good about yourself being with him? Do you feel happy being with him? Not one day when he's gonna reciprocate, not one day when he'll want to be with you. Right now in that moment when he doesn't want to be with you because, I don't know, he just got out of serious relationship, he's not ready to commit, he's too busy with work, I don't know what other reasons people give. But for whatever reason, he's not with you right now, he doesn't want to be with you right now. Are you happy? Because if it's been week, 2 months, however much your situationship is, if you're being 90% of time unhappy, it's not worth it. Your life is too short. You should have few bad moments in your life, not your majority of a life being a bad moment. And especially with the person that's supposed to love you, especially with a man that you're giving a lot of your time to, energy to, and you're going through all of that thinking that one day you're gonna end up together. But listen to me, you're not going to end up together, because he doesn't want you. If he wanted to be with you, he would have dated you basically, and you're doing all of that stuff for him without him having to commit. He's having the best life ever. He's being single, he can go hook up with any girl he wants, he can go out whenever he wants, he can do whatever he wants, and meanwhile he gets all of the girlfriend benefits from you while having all of the benefits from being single at the same time, because you're there for him, you're texting him, you're sleeping with him. He can get all of that girlfriend stuff from you, meanwhile being single, sleeping with other people. Why would he want to change that? And he knows that you're gonna be there because you haven't left. But now let's be real for a moment and imagine the best case scenario. The best case scenario, okay, after 6 months or whenever, he actually realizes he wants to be with you, you get in a relationship, your girlfriend and boyfriend. Do you think that man is ever gonna be obsessed with you? Do you think he's ever gonna be thinking, oh my gosh, you, enter the name, Samantha. You, Samantha, you're the best woman ever, I'm gonna cherish you forever. No! Even if he's gonna be with you, he's going to settle for you in his head. Because you showed him that you're gonna be there no matter what. No matter how badly he treats you, you're going to be there. And he was hooking up with other girls, pursuing other girls, thinking there's someone better, and then eventually he thinks, okay, I guess I cannot do better than this. Is that how you want your relationship to be? For you to be with a man who thinks he cannot do better than you, that's why he's with you? And that also brings me to the fact that even if you end up together, happy ever after, and you're someone who wants to have children someday, what will you tell your children? I think for me, because of my issues, it's sometimes hard to see what I deserve, the happiness that I deserve. But when I think how my children's life is going to be, that's where things get to me. Because of my childhood trauma, I really want to make sure my children have the best life possible, and I will be the best mom possible, and they will have the best dad possible. And then when I imagine in those situationships, even if you end up together and your children will be asking you, Mom, Dad, how did you meet? Are you gonna tell them, well, I was really into your dad, he didn't want to be with me, he wanted to be sleeping with other women and was actively making me feel very bad about myself, but I was spreading my legs whenever he decided to come over at midnight, And I was constantly upset and I was crying a lot and my anxiety was for the roof. And then one day eventually he decided that he couldn't do better than me, so now we are here together. I do think stuff like this, it's like a fart in the trousers. That's how what we say in Poland, at least in my family. There's like fart in a trouser that's always gonna carry the stink with you. Because even if eventually he's gonna want you, he's gonna want to be with you, that's always going to be there. The time that he treated you badly in the beginning is always going to be there. It's always going to follow you. And it will always be part of your love story with that man. And if you have children, that's going to be the part of the story with you and the father of the children. I think that's the stuff that really get to me. And thinking that I have my daughter or my son, especially my daughter, I think that I would tell her, well, you should respect yourself. You should make sure you're with a man that love you and treat you right. But I wasn't like that with your dad. I actually allow him to treat me very, very badly. I think as a woman, as a mother, if you don't set the example for your children, how can you think their life is going to be better? If you're with a man that treats you badly and they observe the man that treats you badly, why would they think they deserve to be treated otherwise? And would you be happy with your child was treated like that? Probably you don't have children and maybe you do. But when you think about having your daughter someday, would you be okay with them receiving the treatment that you receive? And you do deserve better, girl. I don't know what you did in your life. I don't know what crazy stories you have, what you've done to other people, but most likely you haven't done anything that you would deserve to be treated like this. And that brings me to the last point of this video, that as you heal, as you let go, you realize you don't want him. Because I know that in this very moment, you think this man is the best. He's the love of your life. He's the most handsome, the most fun, the best in bed. That if he only wanted you, everything would have been perfect. But it's because he's something you cannot have. He's unavailable for you, and that's really triggering you, your abandonment issues or whatever other issues. I know that I have abandonment issues. I don't know what issues you have, but he's triggering some issues of yours. So you idolize him so much and think that the moment that he reciprocates, everything in your life is going to be healed, everything is going to be better. But eventually I can tell about those two guys I told you about, the situationships. Now that I haven't seen either of them for months, I can look at them now with a better lens, like clear lens, and I think, oh my gosh, they were so annoying. I'm so happy I don't have a child with either of them. I'm happy I'm not with either of them. It's really crazy now that when I look back, and I just feel so unattracted to both of them. And actually the first one still tries to hit me up every now and then, and I just, I can't, like, he doesn't hit me up to date me, he still hits me up just because he wants to hook up with me, because I guess no one slept with him for a few months. But I was thinking to myself, even if he came to me and said he's really sorry and he wants to be with me, I don't think I would want that, honestly. And it's so crazy because I used to think he's the best possible match for me, the best man ever. And I spent so many nights crying because of anxiety I had with him, as I told you. And now that I think about it, I don't think I would want to be with him. No, I can definitely do better. And you're not there right now if you're active in a situationship, but eventually you're gonna get to this point and it's going to be so beautiful. And I hope in this video I convinced you to end your situationship, or at least to have a different look at it. And I know with those stuff it's hard to make a change day to day. If you're really so deep into it, it's really hard to cut it off in this very moment. But eventually when you reach this breakthrough point, your life is going to be so much better. And thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give it a like and subscribe to my channel, as I said in the beginning of this video, but it would mean really a lot to me. And I hope to see you in the next one. Bye bye.